Hi everyone, I'm Tina McIntyre, Florida Friendly Landscaping Agent with the University of Florida IFAS Extension in Seminole County. And today I'm going to talk to you about alternative ground covers. So if you are considering a Florida friendly landscape, you might want to be reducing areas of your turf or filling in areas that are subjected to erosion, or you're just not being able to fill in. So you want to be sure that you're selecting the right ground cover. So that could either be for shade, which is 3 or less hours of direct sunlight per day, or full sun, which is 6 or more hours of direct sunlight per day. So, just consider that when you're thinking about your property and the trees and things like that. So for shade, here in my hand, this is Salvia micella, and that is river sage. This is a Florida native plant, and my apologies, it's very quick to wilt, though I just picked it. Has these tiny little delicate purple flowers. It is in the sage and salvia family. You can see here it's starting to produce those seeds. It does vegetatively reproduce, so it'll kind of fill in nicely. And again, this is for shade, and it's a fantastic Florida native ground cover. So that's an option for you shade people. And then we also have here in a hanging basket, does well interior scaping, or you can also plant it as a ground cover underneath your oak tree or other things like that. So it is a vine. It will tend to climb, so you just want to be aware of that, but it will also vine out along the landscape. And this is called ivy. So English ivy, it's just your basic English ivy, and it does make a really good ground cover for shade. So another option for all those with shady properties. My third pick for a shady landscape is, this is called Peacock Ginger, and this produces really beautiful, tiny, delicate purple flowers on the interior. This one I just am producing by cutting of the root, so it's still kind of bouncing back, but once you get it planted in the landscape, very sustainable selection for shade, really cute purple flowers. And it's going to be really easy to reproduce vegetatively by the roots, so you could propagate it and move it to other areas in the landscape. So those are my top 3 picks for shade. We had the Salvia micella or river sage, Florida native. We have the English ivy, also good for shade, and the Peacock ginger. Now for those of you that have full sun and really enjoy edible plants, I've actually produced some sweet potato cuttings. So I was actually just bought some sweet potatoes, and the end had started to sprout, so I just cut that right off. We ate the rest of it for dinner, and then this I stuck just right on top of this pot, and I had a few of them, so I just inserted them into the soil here, and after about a week or two, it's pretty much turned into a full-on plant. So these are called slips, essentially, is just the vegetative part of the sweet potato. Now sweet potatoes, if you're growing it as a ground cover, you really don't need to worry too much about soil enhancements or amendments. So if you just want to cover your ground and you're not worried about producing the tuber that you're going to eat, you can just plant this directly into the ground, water it for a couple weeks, and it's going to take off. And it will certainly try to produce those tubers, but they might not be as delicious. So if you're interested in producing them for harvesting, you're going to want to build up that soil with some compost, mound it up so that they actually have some really nice soil to grow in, or even just plant it right in a pot so that those tubers are going to be able to form very easily, and you don't have to go for a treasure hunt to harvest them. So sweet potato, that's just a basic you can do when you're getting your groceries. The next one I have here, this is twin flower, and this is another Florida native. It's suitable for partial sun, which is 3 to 6 hours per day, or 6 hours or more, so it can do a direct sun as well. It's going to produce these tiny little delicate purple flowers here, so it's just almost a whitish purple, nice little flower. And again, this is a Florida native, so you can it's extremely easy, very hardy plant to take care of. It does like a little bit more water than say your drought tolerant type plants, but it will last throughout those droughts as well. It's just going to look a little bit more lush if it's getting that weekly irrigating every maybe 10 days or so, 1 to 2 weeks. So again, this is called twin flower, and it's a Florida native. It's it's a great selection for that full sun area. Another one I have here actually on the ground is called Sunshine Mimosa. So Sunshine Mimosa is actually going to be replicated through rhizomes. So you can see here it's kind of spreading throughout. So just like you guys, I had an area that was, we had somewhat a high traffic, but not really, people don't really go over there that much. It's just a side gate over here. And so I wanted to fill it in. It's mostly full sun with a little bit of morning shade. And I went ahead and planted this mimosa. Now mimosa is pretty cool for kids. When you touch it, it actually responds and closes up. So it just kind of gives a little anecdotal interest there. So when you touch it, it actually closes up. But in full sun, the leaves do fan out and it looks really nice. This is in the legume and the pea family. Again, produces these little purple flowers here, so you can see them, quite dainty. And this could be mowed, anywhere from once or twice a year. You really don't even need to mow it if you don't want to. It'll just kind of stimulate the growth. So again, that Sunshine Mimosa, that's a common one you might find at your local nursery or possibly even one of the box stores. And our final plant that I have here is called Perennial Peanut. And you can see these little yellow flowers here being produced. This again is another fairly common ground cover in the box stores or nurseries, and it produces these little teeny tiny yellow pea flowers, and the leaves are this nice green color here. Now this one is really still kind of adjusting. I planted this maybe a couple months ago. It could probably use a little supplementation to really start kicking in. But Perennial Peanut, we have it at the extension office, and once you get it established, it is quite vigorous and easy to utilize. So it does also grow rhizomally throughout the surface, producing those roots there. So thank you so much for watching the video today, and please like and share it. Spread the word about alternative ground covers. The more that we can enhance the usage of alternative ground covers, the better we can protect our water quality resources and water quantity for future generations. So thank you again, and stay tuned.